Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Jamaica News in Review. Manchester man confesses to murdering woman charged. A construction worker who confessed to murdering 45-year-old Paula Saunders, whose body was found in Greenville, Manchester with hands and feet bound, has been charged. He is Robin Zassoff Morris, 63, from Greenville. The woman was a resident of the community. Saunders' body was found on July 12 and Morris held 3 days later. He reportedly confessed and was formally interviewed in the presence of his attorney on Friday, the police stated. His court date is being formalized. Detectives who processed the crime scene reveal that the body was found covered with logs. 31-year-old Kingston man nabbed with homemade gun. A 31-year-old man from Kingston is facing gun-related charges after his reported suspicious behavior led to the alleged discovery of a homemade weapon on Thursday. Augustus English, otherwise called Ogaro, of Ashoko Road, Kingston 11, has been charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. Reports are that about 5:30 p.m. on Thursday, a police team was patrolling on Spanish Town Road in Kingston when English was seen acting in a manner that aroused their suspicion, a police statement says. He was accosted, searched, and the homemade firearm with one 9mm round of ammunition taken from him. English premises was also searched, and one additional 9mm round was found. He was detained and later charged. A court date is being finalized. Cop in 100K bribery murder saga, willing to return to Jamaica, claims innocence. The third policeman being sought in the murder of 49-year-old Tyler in Red Hills Road, St. Andrew, over an alleged bribery deal gone bad, wants to return to Jamaica to assist the investigations. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF reported this week that 2 cops were in custody and a third fled Jamaica. Queen's Counsel Peter Champagne confirmed Friday that he is representing the policeman who is stationed at the Constant Stream Police in St. Andrew. Peter said he has written the relevant investigative bodies informing them that he has been detained to represent the policeman. The cop is willing to return to Jamaica to assist with the investigation, the lawyer said. Peter said the policeman says he's not involved in any murder and did not leave the island because of the incident. The other 2 cops were arrested on Sunday on suspicion of murder following the fatal shooting of Philip Wallace on July 16. The cops allegedly requested $100,000 from Wallace following a raid a few days earlier in return for a case against him to be dropped. A sum was allegedly provided, but the cops demanded more. A report was made to the Constant Spring Police Station and a corruption probe opened against the cops. About 10:41 a.m., Saturday, Wallace was reportedly standing in his Green Glide community when a white Toyota Axio motor car drove up. 3 men alighted from the vehicle and opened fire on Wallace, report said. A woman who was also shot and escaped without injury. The Independent Commission of Investigations and the JCF's Inspectorate and Professional Standards Oversight Bureau are probing the matter. Attorney says man lost teeth in reported family brawl with cops. A 22-year-old farmer who reportedly injured a police officer's hand during a fight in downtown Montego Bay, St. James, was offered bail on Friday. Brian Clark, who is of Sunderland address, is charged with assault occasionally grievous bodily harm. While the date of the incident was not disclosed, the court was told that Clark and some of his family members got into a confrontation with police officers in Samtrop Square, Montego Bay. During an ensuing fight, one police officer's hand was broken. Clark and another relative, Johnny Johnson, were taken into custody and charged with unlawful wounding. However, the charge was later reduced to assault occasioning grievous bodily harm. During Friday's court proceedings, Clark's attorney, Helton McCurvey, told presiding judge Sashok Ashley that his client had received no medical attention for his injuries, even though the injured officer was attended to. We do not suspect it. We know it, that he was kicked and beaten and several of his teeth are missing. What is strange is that the men were held in custody while the other officer received medical attention, and they said they are not talking to the police until they get medical attention, said McCurdy. The issue is that Clark reportedly gave an incorrect surname, and so he was not eligible for station bail, but I will offer him bail as the attorney has made an application based on humanitarian grounds, Judge Ashley replied. Clark was subsequently offered bail in the sum of $200,000, with 2 sureties and instructed to report to police 3 times weekly. His next court appearance will be on July 27. The Great Reset. Johnson Smith argues new road traffic regulations will help reduce road carnage. Leader of Government Business in the Senate, Kamina Johnson Smith, says the new road traffic regulations represent a reset in how the country treats disorder on the nation's street. She was opening the debate on the legislation, which is aimed at revamping the country's traffic laws.
The regulations before us are important. Bringing the new Road Traffic Act is important, and its enforcement will be important as well. So that the act can come into effect, and that a reset button can be pressed in respect of restoring discipline and order on our roads. Not only will lives be saved, Mr. President, but I believe strongly that we can cascade the effects of discipline on our roads into general law and order in our society. Mr. President, I just put in my phone in the Google window, car crashes in Jamaica. 2 rushed to hospital after dramatic crash on Constant Spring Road. Men killed in St. James, crash identified. Body of an American man cut in half in car crash. Father mourns death of 2 children, car crash, Mr. President. And I could go on. And I know we extend condolences to the father of the 2 children who died in the accident in Old Harbor just earlier this week. 11 people were involved in that accident, Mr. President, 2 cars. 4 of them were children. One of those youngsters who passed had just celebrated her 6th birthday, 2 days after her 6th birthday, and killed due to speeding. Mr. President, in addition to current speed limits, including those for toll roads, provision is now made for school safety zones. And I know this is something welcomed by parents. There will be school safety zones where the speed limit will be 30 kilometers per hour, as well as areas with a 65-kilometer speed limit. And implementation of these new speed limit provisions will be phased. Field work is underway, Mr. President, to identify, update, and finalize boundaries that are in the 12th schedule, and the 12th schedule will be expanded. But it does not require to come back to us here in the Senate, Mr. President, because it's one of those schedules that doesn't require affirmative resolution.
2 face extradition. 2 Jamaicans wanted in the United States on drug-related offenses will face the course in extradition hearing in August and September. An August 2nd court date has been set for Hugh Fraser 60 of Westgate Hills in Montego Bay, St. James, while 50-year-old Anthony Daniels is scheduled to appear on September 14. Both are on charges related to the alleged distribution of 5 kilograms of cocaine in Pennsylvania, United States. On Friday, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions was given time to provide details of the provisional extradition orders for both men. Fraser and Daniels were among 4 people arrested in Montego Bay, St. James on Wednesday in a pre-dawn operation, which involved both local and overseas law enforcement agencies in what was called Operation Clean Sweep. In 5 simultaneous raids in Montego Bay, Kingston, and St. Andrew, law enforcers seized 6 motor vehicles including 2 Mercedes-Benz, a Toyota Tacoma, a Honda CR-V, and a BMW. They also seized laptop, tablet computers, 19 cellular phones, 28 SIM cards, a licensed Glock pistol, 132 live rounds of ammunition, a large quantities of cash. The cash amounted to more than $10.5 million. Following the arrest and seizure, Jamaicans were encouraged to use tip lines, online portals, and social media pages to report what they know about organized crime, including drugs and weapons, trafficking, and lottery scamming. Spice elated after crowning moment. There have been times, especially over the last few years, when her status in dancehall has come under question. But those questions were arguably put to rest Saturday morning when Spice was officially crowned the Queen of Dancehall at Reggae Sunfest. The moment represented an official changing over of the guard, as the last time a female artist was crowned by the organizer of the Great Reggae Tour on Earth was back in 2012, when Lady Saw sat comfortably on the throne and was given the crown as a sign that her talent was unmatched and that her effort to spread the dancehall culture globally did not go unnoticed. Like they did then, Reggae Sunfest organizer on Friday night, Golden Terroride and all, declared Spice as the undisputed queen. It is an honor arguably long overdue for the entertainer who, in the eyes of many fans, inherited the throne back in 2014. when the former queen turned her life over to God. Since getting her break into the early 2000s, Spice-born Grace Hamilton has been a force to reckon with on the local music scene. Some 2 decades later, the effervescent personality has cemented her among the best, not just locally but internationally. Today, Spice, with her immense catalogue of hits, is recognized as one of the most prominent dancehall artists of this generation. And overwhelming Spice fought back tears as a golden crown was placed on her head by Sunfest CEO, who dubbed her as one of the greatest entertainers of the local entertainment scene, as she stamped her class on the stage during night 1 of this year's festival. Dressed as an astronaut, intergalactical space, suit and all, Spice showed that when it comes to her set, consistency is a top priority. She made her entrance to her hit single, Different Category, before delivering a slew of hits including crowd favorites, Sheet, Some Like It, and her internationally acclaimed collaboration, Go Down There. Speaking with reporters afterwards, Spice said the timing of the honor is perfect as she celebrates her birthday on August 6. For her, the official crowning is a huge birthday gift. I am super excited and elated about this, and I am also humbled because at the end of the day, it is highly deserving because I work hard. It's been 20 years, it's been a long time coming. I have invested a lot and I continue to give back not only to Sunfest, but the performances and the stage entrances, but to the entire genre of dancehall, she added. It is a great year for me because apart from my birthday, August 6th is Jamaica's independence. We're celebrating 60 years of independence, and I'm celebrating my own independence from my record label. I have been going back and forth with them for the past 10 years, so now that I am independent, I am celebrating it all. Men killed in Mandela Highway crash identified. The police have released the identities of the 2 men who were killed in Wednesday's crash along the Mandela Highway. They are 37-year-old Kevin Muir, a taxi operator of Erie Castle Road, Stony Hill in St. Andrew, and Mark Whittle. Reports from the Central Village Police are that about 4:10 p.m., Muir was driving a Nissan AD wagon motor car towards Kingston with 3 men aboard. They were reported coming from a funeral. On reaching a section of the roadway, Muir allegedly lost control of the vehicle and crashed into the rear of the Mazda Permisi motor car that was traveling towards Spanish Town, St. Catherine. The police were alerted, and Muir, Whittle, and 2 others were taken to hospital. Muir and Whittle died while being treated. The other 2 men were admitted for treatment. The driver of the Mazda Permisi was not hurt. C-Check warns against fraudsters. China Harbour Engineering Company Limited, C-Check, is warning the public to be on the lookout for fraudsters. The company says unauthorized persons have drawn fraudulent checks in an effort to make third-party payments to its name. C-Check says members of the public should take note if they have received any checks drawn to the company's name or resembling that of the company. In light of the fraudulent activity, C-Check says it will no longer issue personal checks when conducting business transactions but will now only use manager's check. It says the police fraud squad is aware of the activities and that legal action will be taken against the fraudsters. 2 decomposed bodies found near Spanish Town bypass. The decomposed bodies of 2 men were found yesterday morning near the Spanish Town bypass in St. Catherine. One of the men is believed to be a 32-year-old man from Fraser's Content in Spanish Town. Relatives at the scene say he was reported missing on Saturday. They say he was called from his house and has not been seen since. A relative disclosed that the man was recently released from prison. Another victim dies from St. Anne crash. Another person has died from Sunday's 2-vehicle collision on the Londova Main Road in St. Anne. Kajani Campbell, a 20-year-old of Brownstown, died Thursday morning at the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital. Miss Campbell was one of 4 people who were in critical condition from the crash. 18 people remain in St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital, while 4 have been transferred to hospitals in other parishes. 1 person has been discharged. 2 persons died on the day of the collision. The deadly crash involved a 30-seater coaster bus, which was heading towards Montego Bay St. James, and a 15-seater bus, which plied the Brownstone to Ocharias route. Give him the death penalty, declares matriarch of Clarendon massacre victims. Gwendolyn McKnight, the woman whose daughter and 4 grandchildren were brutally murdered in Cockapease, Clarendon last month, wants a strong sentence handed down to Roshan Barnett. Barnett, who was charged with 5 counts of murder in relation to the killings, yesterday afternoon pleaded guilty in the Home Circuit Court. He is the cousin of his victims. Although he pleaded guilty, that cannot bring back my daughter and my grandchildren, Knight told reporters shortly after Barnett's plea. Knight, who shared that she has been a shadow of herself since the slaying of her family, said a death penalty sentence would give her justice. What he did was very cruel. He should get the death penalty, the one that will let him die slowly so he can remember how he did my grandchildren and my daughter. Justice must be served. The pain that he leave me with is unbearable, she said. The mutilated bodies of Kimisha Wright, her 4 children, were discovered in their home in the community on June 21. The discovery had set shockwaves throughout Jamaica. Barnett, who had been staying at the house, fled the area to Wilson Run in Trelawney but was later apprehended in the parish. At his first court appearance, the prosecution had served notice that it would be seeking the death penalty.
As the investigation into the disappearance of Miss Donnelly Donaldson intensified, on Tuesday the 26th of July, a case review was held at the CIB headquarters between the hours of 4:30 and 10 p.m. A number of stakeholders were involved in that case review, such as the offices of the Director of Public Prosecution, Indicom, and police from different departments within the force. As a result of the case review, it was agreed that there was adequate evidence to link Constable Noel Maitland to the disappearance of Miss Donaldson. On Wednesday, the 27th of July, Constable Noel Maitland was arrested on Duke Street by police officers assigned to the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Division. He was placed in custody pending further investigation. At this time, I wish to point out that there is no evidence to link District Constable Simmet to the disappearance of Miss Donaldson. Further information will be made available in subsequent release.
Wife mourns after husband killed in Hayes, Clarendon. The estranged wife of a man killed in a shooting incident in Hayes, Clarendon on Tuesday night is remembering him as a kind-hearted and generous man who was well loved in the community. 40-year-old laborer Christopher Romani, otherwise called Lucky, was among 2 people killed after gunmen invaded a shop and opened fire on Romani and others playing dominoes. A 16-year-old boy also died in the incident, which left 5 others nursing gunshot wounds. When reporters visited the community on Wednesday morning, Ingrid Cooper broke down in tears as she mourned the loss of her husband. "It a go break me down, even though we're apart for about 5 years now. When me and him did live, him never make me hungry. Me have other kids, but don't belong to him, and him never make them want anything. Make sure that they went to school and so on. Him miserable and him loud and cuss, but he was a nice person who was well loved in the community," Cooper said. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.